All right, how's it going, people? Let me set up my audio. Make sure that's working correctly, real quick. All right, all right. Let me get on YouTube. Make sure everything's coming in loud and clear. All right, testing, testing, testing. All right, testing, testing, testing. Wonderful. All right, so how's it going, people? Yes, I'm getting more political. Deal with it. And let me send an apology to TechRail. I know we were supposed to do the Super Showdown review and Impact. Impact was great. I enjoyed Impact. The Super Showdown, been so busy. Look, I'm trying to watch Super Showdown right now. It ain't that's not it, Chief. Like, it's boring. Like, what more can I say? I mean, I guess it was cool to see Asuka and Naomi as a tag team and it's coming together organically or whatever. But besides that, the New Day, monkeys, gorilla stomping the bar. Really? Really? Okay, whatever. Um, I want to talk about the upcoming Georgia election, and you know, I'm gonna focus on, as it says in the title, Kemp versus Abrams, but I'm going to like glance over some of the other things, and I'm not gonna get into the more trivial stuff because uh, at the lower state levels, basically Republicans, Democrats, it's kind of like the same thing or whatever. Nobody's throwing these guys like $10,000, $1 million checks to like grow corn or do this or that. It's just, hey, I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat, whatever. Uh, where I'm gonna start is, sorry, that had some fish and whatever, salmon got kind of stuck in my teeth or whatever. So what I'm gonna start is where I'm going to start is, uh, first of all, something that I found really funny is in our election, you're going to have, let me see, who's the guy? I forgot his name already. Is in, oh yeah, Jim Beck versus Janice Laws for insurance commissioner. Now, this is particularly funny because Jim Beck, the Republican, like I always say, Republicans are systematically corrupt, and it just like goes right in hand with that. This guy, a former insurance company lobbyist, that should just automatically disqualify him for even like running. Um, I think I read he's getting investigated by the feds for something. So right there, two big flags. You got a guy that's running for insurance commissioner that used to work for the insurance companies to make them more money. Why we allow this in America? Um, then you have the thing about the lieutenant governor, and th- this one's tough because the lady there, she seems like decent enough, but then you read the stuff, and she's a former Republican. And here's the funny part: she's gone up against the guy. You know how the Republicans are now. Now you might well say they're the party of Trump. It's the Trump party and Democrats. That's basically what it is. And maybe you have some far left people that don't want money in politics and everything like that. But for the most part, Republicans, they're the party of Trump. They love Trump, everything Trump, bow down to Trump. So you have this lady, Riggs, who's a former Republican, like I said, and she's like, I wouldn't call her a Democrat. She's basically what conservatives used to be back in the day, you know, to the center. Whereas she's running against this guy named Duncan Hunter. Is it Jeff Duncan? Yeah, Jeff Duncan. And look, one of the main things that stuck out to me on his website is I'm just read this: dismantle ineffective government programs and streamline budgeting process. Georgia needs business friendly leadership. I wonder why, Duncan. I wonder why. Focus on growing business in our state and not the government's bloated budget. Jeff would have churches, charities, of course, corporations, of course, and citizens at the front of the line in defense against challenges in our state. Now, Jeff Duncan, let me just, I'm gonna do the screen share because I might well just put it up because it makes more sense. So, Jeff Duncan, for some reason, he wants corporations to be a part of everything. I wonder why that is. Huh. Maybe this. Okay, here we go. And funding. Let's wait for it to pull up. Oh, look at that. The guy that wants corporations to be a part of stuff is getting legally bribed by corporations. Why? I never would have guessed that. I mean, I thought this guy just loved corporations. I mean, all the goodness of his heart, but right here is obviously out of the goodness of his wallet. So yeah, we don't want big government, but we want big checks to influence government. That's basically the Republican Party. So let's get into the main event. You got Brian, I'm going to pull a gun out on a teenager in a video, Kemp, versus Stacey Abrams, who, look, I'm going to be completely honest, this woman has not made a single wave here in Georgia. Like, yeah, she's getting her signs up and she's making speeches, but I'm barely hearing anything. Like, people aren't like excited for like, ooh, I'm voting for Stacey Abrams. And I think that could be, I want to say disastrous, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I live in like a very small town, and sometimes I go to like another small town, and the really small town, they're fucking in love with this Brian Kemp guy. I don't know, because they're greasy rednecks that don't have internet and maybe are too stupid to just like look up policy, or he's the white guy and they're going to vote for him regardless. I don't know why, but let's dig deep into their policies, and maybe I might change my mind, and I you know what, I might be a Brian Kemp supporter. Maybe I don't know. So, and let's get something out of the way. Both of these, I would pull this up, but this is like a time waster. Both of these guys right here, look, this guy, this woman, both of them take corporate money donations. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just going to base it upon policies that are at the bottom that I'm going to scroll to. So they're both in the same basket as far as, hey, both of them take donor money, both of them take large checks, and they may or may not represent the people. I'm just throwing that out there. So let's get into their policies. First of all, let's, just like this thing has, let's start with taxes. So Brian Kemp wants to put a cap on state spending adjusted for growth and inflation, eliminate wasteful tax incentive, like, state taxes or child income tax credits, stuff like that people who file taxes may need at the end of the year. Whereas, okay, Stacey Abrams backtracked on an earlier position that she would reverse a state income tax cut, backs tax credit incomes for lower families. Okay, I gotta read that. Backtracked on an earlier position that she would reverse a state income tax cut. That she would reverse a state. So, if you don't know, Trump, he took away this thing to where you don't get state income tax anymore. And if I'm reading this correctly, she backtracked on an earlier business that she reversed. So she's going to allow Trump's state income tax thing to be available to where you don't get it, but she backs tax cut credits for low income families. That's I don't know, talk about getting a milkshake that somebody spit in. Like, okay, you're going to if you're a lower income family, you're going to get a tax credit, but you're not going to get your state income tax. That's horrible. It was way better than Mr. I'm going to not give you any tax credit at fucking all. I needed to give it back to the top 1% to pay for that tax cut that Trump gave everybody. Okay. Trying to stay objective. Medicaid. Okay. Kemp opposes expanding Medicaid, but supports increasing rural hospital tax program and seeking federal waivers to stabilize insurance. So basically, he doesn't want to give the Medicaid for all, so people can have health care or whatever. He basically wants to give you, and it's weird now. Well, I want to say weird, but it's funny. A royal, that's a weird word to say, hospital tax credit. Now, rural would mean like country towns or like people that are far away from businesses or whatever. And most of the time in Georgia, that extends to only one race of people. So if you can afford it, you're going to get money back on your taxes, but you have to have enough money to pay the premium, and also seeking federal waivers to help stabilize insurance premiums. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know what the hell a federal waiver is. So states can federal requirements for them. Under these federal authorities, states can receive permission to forego various federal requirements for their Medicaid programs. Freedom of choice waivers typically used to implement or manage care programs. Okay, so I'm still not understanding that. See, states can receive permission to forego various federal requirements. Is that okay? So a federal requirement for like drugs or programs, like procedures that aren't like verified yet? Is that it? I'm just assuming. I know I'm not really okay with this not expanding Medicaid. Look, I don't know what Republicans have against people having health care. Like I know Kemp, he's in the pocket deeply of big pharma and insurance companies, but Republican people get hurt too, and maybe some people are going to be affected by this rural hospital tax credit thing, and I just feel like that's kind of like slighting the other people that won't vote for him. Abrams supports expanding Medicaid and exploring a program to stabilize health insurance premiums. So obviously, I'm for that, because who isn't against having Medicaid for all so that people can go see the doctor? It's gonna cost me. It's gonna cost a lot. My taxes. But you aren't worried about the Trump tax cut that helps the 1% and also increases your taxes where you get nothing. But you're worried about having health care. Whatever. Education / hope. Kemp would support school choice effort by doubling the state tax credit for student scholarship organization and boosting funding for school choice. What the hell is school choice? Term for a program offering students to public. Oh, oh, okay. So basically, what he supports is basically the killing of public schools. And if you're one of the lucky ones to get a voucher for a private school, hey, good for you. But if you don't, hey, we're gonna have to take the money out of your school to fund these private schools. And be honest, what is a charter school? Let's look it up together, people. Where are public schools of choice, meaning that families chose them with freedom from some regulations, are account for results and on the promises made in their charters. You know what? When you read it, it kind of doesn't sound that bad. Families choose them for their children. Are public schools of choice. They operate with freedom from some regulations that are imposed upon. So, what the question is? What restrictions do they not have to follow compared to a public school? That's the question. Um, Abrams supports historic involvement in early child care and learning in public schools and a needs-based education scholarship. Says she staved off deeper cuts to lottery-funded Hope Scholarship by working with Republicans to keep the program solid. So I guess she helped Republicans not cut it because fuck the kids. They don't. I guess they don't want them to go to school. A needs-based. What the hell is needs-based education? Schools at. What is need? Okay. All right. Needs. Okay. I think I kind of get it. So they only give you, I guess, enough money in the scholarship to pay off the books. They don't give you like a shit ton of money that you would have to owe back. It's just like, okay, you're gonna be so and so, so you don't need this amount. You're gonna need this amount, and I guess you wouldn't get like a huge lump sum that you have stuff left over after you pay for your books and tools and stuff for school. You just get enough to cover all of that, which I like. It saves money for the budget, and it makes sense. Why give somebody who's going to be a mechanic 5,000 if only thing they need is 2,000, and you know everything like that, and 3,000 they took or have, it just builds interest and gets them into debt. So I really like that. Yawning in this bitch. So let's get into one of my favorite topics. Gun laws. So, all right, let's start. Brian Kemp opposes new restrictions and backs constitutional carry. All right, we already know about the ad where he pulled a shotgun on somebody. It was just a joke. No, you can't take it. Look, didn't Brian? Oh my God, I can't remember his name. I can't. In the Crow, Bruce Lee's son die because they thought it was a prop gun or whatever? Really? Like, are we really making this argument about, oh, it's just a prop? Chill out. We don't know it was a prop. It could have been a real gun. But anyway, so let me break down Brian Kemp, his stuff. So he doesn't want new gun restrictions. Basically, he doesn't want background checks, doesn't want mental health evaluations. Look, he just wants a gun in your fucking hand. Like that, honestly, why isn't a gun in your fucking hands, Brian Kemp? That's how the ad should go. And he backs constitutional carry. I know what constitutional carry is, but for the people who don't know what that is, constitutional carry basically is you have the right to own a gun. That's basically what they're saying. And you don't need a permit. You don't need like any type of training. You can just have the 4 pound on you at all times. Like, hey, constitutional carry. What's up? It's right here. And the thing with me about constitutional carry is, let's just say he wins. I want this law to be implemented for all people of Georgia. And I know you're gonna say, "Oh, it will be." No, wait, don't. Look, we've seen the news. We know how police act when people of color have guns. If you pass this constitutional carry law, don't be mad. Don't be getting upset. Don't be in a panic when you see people, black people, Mexican people walking around with just guns. Just like, hey, I got a suit on, but I have a fucking AK-47. Hey, I'm just chilling, but I got an SKS. Hey, I'm just here at this function, but I have a Uzi. That's all I'm trying to say. And I know I shouldn't think this way, but look, Republicans, as soon as he passes law and that happens, whoa. We got to take away this constitutional carry. This is the ploy by the Democrats to make guns unsafe. I swear. And let me make sure. The term constitutional carry always permanently carry referring to the legal carry of a handgun, either openly or concealed. Bro. And think about that now. In Georgia, all thing you have to do is just legally, illegally, who cares? With constitutional carry, you can just have it on you. Like, if that's the law of the state, isn't that what the Republicans like are again? Oh, we don't want guns to be sold to criminals and all that. If the law of the land is constitutional carry, how the fuck would you know? It's not like people are always gonna be like, oh, whoa. I don't think your gun is legal. It's constitutional carry. Like, and then okay, that's where it gets back into that point. Let's just say you have guy A who's Caucasian. He's walking around with an illegal firearm, but it's constitutional carry, and he's just like, hey, it's out here in the open. What are you gonna do? Stop me? Whatever. But you have a black guy, open carry, constitutional carry. His gun's legal. Whoa. Niggas with guns. This is outrageous. I gotta stop you. And then it gets into that whole thing of, will the cops be able to handle that? Because this constitutional carry is, trust me, you think it's not gonna be a big deal. You think like, oh yeah, it's gonna give people freedom and do this and that, guns everywhere. It's gonna be high five. We're gonna be slapping guns and shooting guns and hey, I got my 4.5. Oh yeah, Jim Bob, I got my sawed off. No, saws are still illegal. I got my pistol shotgun right here. Woo, we having a good time. It's gonna be the fucking Wild Wild West. You could illegal gun, real. It's gonna be just crazy. College Duty carry is gonna be like fucking Florida on steroids. Like, wow. Whereas Stacey Abrams supports stricter gun laws, universal background checks for the private, and that's another thing in Georgia here. You can go to a gun show, and just buy a gun from a private seller, and it's like, whatever. I just bought a gun. Hey, I don't need your license. I don't need to know your name. Just give me money and get the gun at the gun show. And also, she wants to repeal campus carry. Look, the former governor, he passed his law to where, like, if you could just be on the campus with the pistol if you have the permit. Like, hey, nothing to see here. I'm just walking around with the pistol. I got a permit. I know you're trying to study, but check out the Chrome 4.5, bro. Because school shootings, look, I hate to be that guy, but most of the shootings from schools are from Caucasian people. So what really is this law? Like, it's like giving a cat a saucer of milk and be like, hey, I need you to, guard this saucer of milk and not really drink any of it. Yeah, that doesn't seem very smart. Then you have the criminal justice drug policy. Kemp calls. Oh my God! Look, I'm not downplaying gang violence. Like, trust me, but come on, bro. You're calling out gang violence, like, is the KKK with, or violent right-wing militias involved with this gang violence thing you want to probably put into play? Are you going to get butthurt about Antifa punching Nazis? Like, really? And plans to create a new small unit in state attorney's office dedicated to fighting the crime. Wow. A office in the attorney general office, basically. Look, when he says, I'm trying not to put words in the mouth, but we'll see if he wins. We'll see where it goes. Gang violence, black people. He's going to have basically a whole thing devoted to black people. Oh yeah, probably Mexicans. Gang people only crimes. And I'm kind of against this because, look, the way it works now, if you have like any kind of gang, what they would call gang paraphernalia, it could be like a bandana, and you could have just bought that bandana from like anywhere, Supreme or Nike or whatever. They're like, oh, you're black and you have like the red bandana and it has a Nike check on it. You're a gang member. No, nigga, I just bought this shit because it looks cool and it's on sale. Oh, no, you're a gang member. I'm adding, it's 5 years. That's how crazy it is in Georgia. And obviously, because he's a fucking Republican, opposes in-state cultivation of medical marijuana. Yo, your cancer. Fuck your cancer because, my morals. What? All right, Abrams pledged to eliminate the use of cash bail. I love it. Like, I'm not the type of guy that gets in trouble anyway, but the cash bail system is fucking horrible. Like, let's just say you do like a minor crime or whatever, and you gotta get out of jail to like handle stuff or whatever. They make you pay a bail instead of just like, hey, sign this, let us know where you are, show back up to court for your hearing. Which it should be done. Instead, they're like, hey, you got locked up for something simple. I need 10% of 5,000 now, or you can't get out of jail. Oh, you can't get out of jail. Hey, look, you're gonna lose everything until you get to the judge, and that's it. Back steps taken to decriminalize marijuana, expanded accountability courts, and ending capital punishment. Love it. Look, if you're a weed smoker in Georgia and this does not bring you out, look, I'm not a weed smoker myself, but look, it's time. It's 2018. It's time to stop even thinking about marijuana as a drug we should be locking people up for. You can like try to downplay science and medicine and how marijuana affects people and its uses, but that will make you an idiot. Like, you can't downplay those things. Those things are facts. Accountability. I think that means spending. Let me see. I don't know what accountability courts are, but luckily we have the internet. I still don't know what the hell accountability court is. Okay. I created the Georgia Accountability Court. One of the programs just reformed to provide effective alternative to sentencing for and reduce. You know what? Again, smart. Instead of having it to where, hey, you ran a traffic ticket, but you can't pay your stuff, I'm gonna send you to prison. It's more like, oh, you did that. We're gonna find a way to work with you and hold you. We're still gonna hold you accountable, but we're not gonna put you in prison. So I do like that a lot. Capital punishment, I'm going to assume that's the death penalty. I'm mixed on that, because if you commit a murder, you gotta go, bro. Like, look, I understand like being in jail like for the rest of your life. That's fucking torture. Like, let's just say, hey, I'm a young dude. I gang, or white people. I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't know what white criminals say. You commit a crime and it involves murder, and they're like, hey, you're caught and you're going to court, and you get sentenced, and the judge is like, oh yeah, the rest of your life, instead of the death penalty. That hurts more, because realistically, you're going to be spending 60, 70, maybe 80 years behind fucking bars. And that's your life. That's your life. Whereas with the death penalty, you might make it to 40, maybe. It depends on how fast they're injecting motherfuckers. That's basically it. So, oh man, that's tough, man. Like, I could go either way on that capital punishment, because both of them are like, that's rough. That's a bad punishment that people, some people deserve. Some people are just, horrible people. Let's just keep it 100. Immigration. Kemp has created a database for tracking unauthorized immigrants with criminal convictions and speeding up their deport. You know what? I'm okay with that. If you're an illegal immigrant and you got criminal convictions, maybe you might need to go. It's nothing against immigrants or whatever. It's just, hey, you committed a crime, oops, you got to go back. Abrams opposed House Bill 87, a crackdown on illegal immigrants that lawmakers approved into saying it harmed our immigrant and maybe okay. Now I gotta look at House Bill 87. I guess that passed. All right. Everybody, I'm reading this too, guys. Let me see. You know what? That's I'll side with Kim on this one. Hey, you got more than 10 employees. We got to verify to see that they're here. Well, they're legally here, so not bad. Kemp, religious liberty. So pledge to sign religious liberty measure. So what is religious or its freedom? Is a okay. Respect. So I'm guessing that he wants to sign this religious liberty because this would allow churches to donate to Republicans and people, politicians in general, which is bribes, corruption, bribes, corruption, bribes and corruption, bribes and corruption, Republican motto, bribes and corruption, bribes. All right. Opposed with a threat, legalize discrimination or allow some. Uh, I think she's talking about like bills where people can fire people for being gay or transgender. Yeah, that's definitely with her on that one. Abortion is better than that. Toughest. Why, why Republicans? Like, why are Republicans so against abortion? Like, sometimes shit happens. Like, I'm not just saying like sex, but like medical stuff or rape or I know Republicans know full well about rape. Uh, but a lot of things that happen, and you're basically just saying, "Oh, whoa, 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 an abortion, your kid's gonna be a fucking mongoloid." Look, you gotta, you gotta do it. You gotta deliver the kid, and I know he's gonna have like 2 feet, like there are 1 foot, and he's gonna be fucking mentally ill. But look, we're trying to make a point that you can't have an abortion, and I know it probably will kill you, but you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Yeah. Obviously, Abrams opposes this medical marijuana. He supports a limited expansion of medical marijuana program, but opposes legislation legislation allowing marijuana to be grown in the state, saying it should be up to Congress to what? So you may allow medical marijuana, but you don't want people in Georgia growing it to supply in Georgia. You want it to be, oh yeah, because you're probably gonna make a profit off of that some way, somehow. Uh, Abrams, she supports in-state cultivation of marijuana for medical purposes. She would work. She would seek to decriminalize some marijuana offenses and invoke a new Atlanta policy that calls for a maximum fine of 75 and no mandatory jail. Look, that's progress. Like you got some bullshit amount of weed on you. Hey, look, pay you 75. Get the hell on. Get out my face, man. That's bad. That's progress. That's not. Oh, smoking weed and Negroes. That stings my buns. Like what year are we living in? Brian Kemp, come on. Transportation. A skeptic of state-funded Look, I know you're around the bus, but look, we're not gonna be putting any money into that shit. Look, what we really need to do is expand these fucking roads and like so 18-wheelers can like keep rolling with this bitch. Like, look, I know you don't have a car and you might not have a lot of money, but look, bro, you got to be walking. Like, that's really like no sympathy. You got to pull yourself up by you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps just to ride the fucking bus. She's a supporter of efforts to expand transit. Look, if you're poor and you vote for Brian Kemp and like you don't have a car and you live in a big city, like I don't know. Like I can't feel sorry for you if he wins and like, oh yeah, we're gonna shut down all buses because it's causing us state money. You have to walk like 10 miles to get to your job and your feet hurt, but you have to stand up and look, it's gonna be your fault. Don't blame anybody but yourself. It's like Democrat because no, it's you. You would have voted for this. Now I think the final thing, water wars. So he wants to strike a compromise for the sake of ending water wars that will leave hard-working Jordan high and dry. Step up the legal fight. I won't blink. What the hell, water war? The hell are those? So I take it there's places in Georgia to where water is abundant and you can drink it, and some people want control of it, but other people aren't ready to get uh, I, for the public having access to drinking water. Like I, I'm tempted to make an assumption that Brian Kemp wants corporations to have the water control because they make money off it and they may sponsor him. I'm just taking a wild guess. Whatever. She framed herself as a double edged will work to. No idea. Like completely sharp as the waters into. I guess it's some kind of volunteer stuff, or like save water and put it somewhere for people or whatever. Look, definitely vote for Stacey Abrams, but it's, nothing about her stuff kind of stood out besides the marijuana stuff. Mostly all of Brian Kemp's stuff is just like stuff straight out of nightmares. Like, I wake up, oh shit, everybody got a gun. What the fuck? Like, is like, what you say? Did you breathe the same air that I breathe? Click clack. That's the world we're going to have to be getting used to. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I'm kind of sleepy, and that's pretty much it, man. Like Kemp versus Abrams, like I really like. Honestly, I don't get Republican voters voting for this guy because look, I just read some of that stuff, and that's horrible. So if you're voting for Kemp, that means you pretty much stand for all those things he's talking about as far as policies. And look, that doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're a bad person if you support all of this. So I'm out of here. Catch you guys later. Peace out.